Hello students and learners, welcome to the new lecture, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about what is root pressure and also mechanism of water movement in the plants, and these are the two topics that we are going to discuss in this lecture. Okay, so first of all we will start with the activity 6, and this activity 6 it is about root pressure. Okay, what is root pressure and how the water is moved in the plants and also so on, that we are going to see with the help of the experiment that is known as root pressure experiment. So for this experiment, we have to take one potted plant. Okay. So we have to take one potted plant, and first we have to water it, which means pouring water into the pot. As a result, what will happen? The soil will get wet with water, and now the plant has a plenty amount or the huge amount of the water to absorb. Now we have to cut the plant stem 1 centimeter above. Okay, 1 centimeter above will be cut down, and now we have to take the glass tube, and the diameter of the glass tube should be almost equal to the diameter of the stem. Okay, so now we have to insert the glass tube onto the stem of the plant and make sure there is a rubber tubing. Okay, rubber tubing should be tight, and so that there will be no leakage of the water from here, and no escaping will be done. This escaping of the water should be done. And now what you have to do, you have to pour some amount of the water into the tube and make the level of the water as the m1 means mark 1 level of the water. Okay, so now we have to wait for 1 to 2 hours or 2 to 3 hours. As a result, what is going to happen in this duration of the time? The water is going to absorbed by the roots. The root hairs, in the previous lesson we have seen the root hairs are going to absorb the water. What is that process? That process is known as osmosis. So with the help of the osmosis, the roots are going to absorb the water, and this absorbed water will be sent to the xylem and vessels, or xylem vessels of the roots. Roots contains xylem vessels, and these xylem vessels are going to accept the water from the roots, and this water will be sent to the stem. Okay, so this is the process that we have discussed in the previous lecture. Okay, in the same way, the water will be absorbed by the root hairs from the soil, and from the soil into the xylem vessels of the roots, and from the xylem vessels, the water will be sent to the xylem vessels of the stem. Okay, now from this, the water will get increased from the m1 to the m2 after certain period of time. Okay, hence you can see there is a increased level of the water in the glass tube. Okay, by this way, what you can confirm? You can confirm that the water level is increased due to the root pressure that is absorbed by the root hairs. Okay, so this is about the root pressure experiment. Okay, so next there is a question in the textbook: is there any increase in the water level, and what is the role of the xylem in this action? Yes, there is an increase in the level of the water in the glass tube. So the main role of the xylem is to transport the water to all parts of the plant which is absorbed by the root hairs. Okay, the vascular bundles. So what is meant by vascular bundles? It is of two types, like one is a xylem and another is a phloem. Okay, what is meant by xylem? It is going to help in the transportation of water only. Okay, the water will be transported through the xylem. And what the phloem is going to do, it is going to transport the food materials, especially the glucose, vitamins or proteins or what it may be. Okay, so here make sure that and remember that the xylem is the vessel. It is a type of the vascular bundle helping in the transportation of the water. Okay, so next is the mechanism of the movement of water in plants. Just now we have seen there is a osmosis which is helping in the absorption of the water from the plant or from the soil, okay, by the root hairs. Okay, now we are going to see what is the mechanism, in what way, in which mechanism this water is moving in the plants, that we are going to see in this topic. Okay, in this topic we are also going to discuss a small topic known as small experiment, that is a transpiration experiment. Okay, the transpiration is the evaporation of water from the leaves through the stomata and the lenticels of the stem. Okay, what is meant by transpiration? The transpiration means evaporation of water. The water will get evaporated in the form of water vapor. Okay, or the water will be turned into the water vapor and escape from the plant body into the environment. So this process, this escape of water from the plant into the environment is known as a transpiration. So the water is going to escape. In what way it is going to escape? Water vapor. that is known as transpiration. Okay, so the transpiration is going to create the pulling effect in the continuous water column in the xylem. So just now we have seen the water will be water will get transpired from the leaves or from the lenticels. And also we forgot to discuss about lenticels. What is meant by lenticel? Lenticel is nothing but in the stem or on the bark of the tree, just you can see a small elevations, a small bump like structures on the surface. Okay, what is the small elevations on the stem? These are known as lenticels. These are the loose tissue which is helping in the respiration. Okay, in the chapter 2 we have discussed about the lenticels in the stem. Okay, it is going to help in the respiration. Not only respiration, it is also going to help in the transpiration process. Okay, so this transpiration which is done in the leaves, okay, it is going to help in the pulling effect on the continuous water column. So this is the stem. Okay, these are the roots, and water which is absorbed from the soil will be transferred to the stem. Okay, if the leaf is there over here, if it is going to transpire, okay, water vapor, okay, in the form of water vapor, what is going to do? It is going to create a effect, pulling effect of water into the leaves. Okay, it means we can understand that not only root pressure but also transpiration is helping the water to move up of the plant. Okay, this is known as a transpiration. Hence we can say that the transpiration is going to create a pulling effect of a continuous water column. What is meant by continuous water column? It means there is a continuous flow of water from the root hairs to the tip of the plant or each and every part of the plant. That is known as continuous water column. Okay, xylem vessels are surrounded by the leaf mesophyll cells which contains cell sap. The leaf contains different cells. Okay, parenchyma cells, mesophyll cells, cuticle cells, and so on. These all are the cells that is present. We have discussed about the transfer section of a leaf in the first chapter. Okay, there we have seen the mesophyll cells also. These mesophyll cells that is present in the leaves, they are going to they have the cell sap. Cell sap is nothing but a fluid. Okay, so it is going to absorb the water. So when the water is evaporates the water, so as a result there is a creation of the pulling effect on the xylem vessels. Okay, so from the walls of the mesophyll cells, the water will be lost, and from the mesophyll cells, if the water is lost, the water will be absorbed by the xylem vessels which is present in the stem. Okay, so as a result, next the root hairs are going to absorb the soil from the soil and pass to the xylem vessels. Okay, by this way we can confirm that not only root pressure but also the transpiration, okay, the transpiration in the plants both are going to help in the continuous movement of water in the plant. Okay, so this is the main important factor overseen over here. So how the continuous stream of the water will be seen? That is due to only two factors. One is due to the root pressure, and other is due to the transpiration. Okay, these two are going to help in the continuous movement of the water in the plant stem. Okay, so here is a small experiment. So in this experiment we have to take one potted plant. If you don't have any potted plant, so go to the nearby tree and also select a small branch which containing around 10 to 20 leaves, and also take one polythene bag and also cover the leaves with the help of a polythene bag and tie at the mouth of the polythene bag and wait for 2 to 3 hours. So after 2 to 3 hours, what you can see? You can see small droplets which is forming inside the polythene bag. So now the question is how the water droplets will be formed inside the polythene bag. That is simple. What is that? The transpiration. So from the pot, the water will be transferred to the plant body, and from the plant body the water will be releasing into the polythene bag. So the water vapor is released into the polythene bag by the leaves by a process known as a transpiration. Okay, so as a result the water vapor is coming from the leaves in the form of by a process known as transpiration. This water vapor is turning into water, okay, by a process known as condensation. So the polythene bag is a little bit cooler. Why? Because it is in the environment. As a result, the water vapor is turning into water. Okay. So by this way, we can confirm that there is a transpiration inside the plants. Okay, next the transpiration is going to create a pulling effect of water that gives a variable minor push from the below. Okay, pushing means the water will be when there is a transpiration from the roots, there is a pushing of water. Root heights and roots are going to push the water due to the transpiration pull which can be seen on the plant. Okay, as a result the water is going to move up, and also not only that, the leaves are going to evaporate or they are going to do the transpiration, they are also going to create a pulling effect. Hence we can confirm that the root pressure plus a transpiration pull is going to help in the movement of water. Okay, so this is the main thing over here. So this is known as a transpiration stream. What is transpiration stream? So the stream of the water which is created due to the transpiration in the stem is known as a transpiration stream. Stream is nothing but the movement of the water. Continuous flow of the water is known as stream. So the stream is created due to the transpiration effect. Hence we can call it as a transpiration stream. So there is one plant that is known as oak tree. It is going to transpire as much as 900 liters of water per day. Okay, so 900 liters of water is per day is not a small thing. So such huge amount of transpiration of the water by the oak tree, it is going to affect the degree of saturation. Okay, degree of saturation of water in the air. So what is meant by saturation? The amount of air, the amount of water vapor in the air is known as saturation. Not only in case of water, anything. Saturation means the percentage of a substance in the particular thing is known as saturation. Here in this case, due to the transpiration, the huge amount of water will get transpired. As a result, this transpiration is going to affect the saturation of water in the air. As a result, what is going to happen? After some time, the water vapor in the air is going to increase. As a result, if the water vapor in the air increases, it will turn into rain, okay, or rainfall. So the forest areas often have the higher rainfall than the nearby areas. Why? Because in the forest we can see huge number of the trees. As a result, if the trees are more, there is a more transpiration. Okay, more transpiration, and as a result there will be more rainfall. Okay, so this is a simple concept. So there is a question given in the textbook: is there any relationship between the transpiration and rainfall? Yes, there is a relationship between the transpiration and rainfall. Why? Because so the transpiration is nothing but the evaporation of water from the plant leaves. As a result, this water vapor turns into rainfall during the condensation process. Okay, transpiration is going to create the water vapor in the air, and when the saturation is full in the air, it is going to cause a rainfall. Okay, next is how much water is transpired by the plants. So the transpiration in the plants depends upon the type of plant and also nature of the plant. Okay, so let us take the few examples. For example, if you take a fully grown maize plant, it is going to transpire around 15 liters of water per week. Okay, so next is the 1 acre of the maize plant. It is going to this 1 acre of the maize plant is going to, or you can call it as a maize crop. It is going to transpire about 1,25,000 liters of water per day, water in 100 days of the growing season. It means within 100 days it is going to transpire this huge amount of the water. Okay, next is a fully grown mango tree. It is going to transfer around 750 to 3,500 liters of the water per day during the growing season. Okay, not 3,000, around yeah, maybe 3,500 liters of the water per day during the growing season. Okay, and I hope this lecture is helpful to you. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share and comment. You can ask your questions or doubts in the comment section so that we can reply to your doubts or questions. And in the next lecture, the next lecture is about the transport of the mineral salts and also transport of the materials in the plant. Okay, and we will see you in the next lecture.